Hey, 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 everyone. Welcome to Saturday Night Live Jazz Hands with me, lisalyle, your joyful hostess with the mostest on a Saturday evening, earlier than normal. And yay, I'm grateful for that. Anyway, very warm welcome to all of you, new and those coming back. Although this is a live session, I trust that whenever you come across it, there will be a tidbit of wisdom and spiritual inspiration here for you. As you can tell, if you were here last night, I am feeling much better today. Yes, when we harness our power. Hey, hey, Miss Mo, how's it going? Welcome home. All right, so we're going to get back to where all of this started yesterday. And we're going to touch on a lot of things. Let's get the sage going, Palo Santo going first. How's everyone doing? How is everyone doing this Saturday evening? You may hear some fireworks in the background because it is a long weekend here in Canada. And we call them fireworks weekends all through the summer. And back in the old days, the fireworks were only on the Monday of the long weekend, and now they're every night. So, okay. I have a lot to share. I'm very excited. It's going to be hopefully informative tonight, supportive, and all the very best stuff. At this time, I'd like to ask that I am a clear and pure channel to bring through messages from Source Divine, loving and kind, with the intention of supporting our greatest and highest good, our most joyful and creative outcome in this lifetime via our very own central nervous system, which is supportive of creating heaven here on earth. Yeah, that would be nice. We haven't had a lot of rain here, although the weather has been the sky's been gnarly all day, and the wind, like yesterday. Okay, so I connected here last night. I was hoping to do a live. I had a lot to share with everyone, and there was something really odd in the air. I feel guided to do this throat chakra singing bowl for us. Before we get too much further into that, I did take this down to the lake with me yesterday. And yeah, so take a few deep breaths. So there is a message at this time about the truth within us wanting to come to the surface. And as we begin to anchor and ground more stably into our own pillar of light, this is going to disturb some of the external forces, if you will, that really want to use us as a resource without um, without pouring back in to the cup, the vessel that is us. So briefly last night, I went over. So Thursday, we were live Thursday morning. And at the end of that live, I was guided to pull some cards for myself from the Mystic Art Tarot. And immediately 4 cards came out. They were the fertility card, Empress energy. And with this energy, I feel very much the presence of Kuan Yin. This feels very Kuan Yin, very compassionate, very divine mother, no souls left behind. And she's really, this feminine energy is really coming to the fore at this time to remind us of who we are, and to remind us that in order to serve and in order to abundantly co-create and live the prosperous, joyful heaven on earth experience, we must continually, there's a lot of shifts going on through the throat as I'm speaking. There is the requirement for us to continue to show up for ourselves in compassionate ways. And we may have felt in recent days, you can hear the voice changing again. We may have felt in recent days unsettled because of energetics that on their way out, and know that they're on their way out. It's like a last ditch attempt to kind of hold us back. It's the whole clipping of the wings. And we are the ones that transform through all the winds of change, through all the seasons, and most magically and most brilliantly through our own emotional waters, the weather, if you will. And as we navigate the weather and the emotional waters, it supports our ability to express ourselves in more powerful ways. And let's face it, I'm not a maiden. I'm not a maiden. I'm in my 50s, my mid 50s, and it's taken a lot. This human has gone through a lot to get to this point, and this point feels like the let off point, if you will. The let off point for that is no longer meant to be the next phase of the journey. The journey of the one who has gotten to the core wound, addressed the core wound, felt it, and dealt with it because they felt it. And so now is the let off point for the energy of the core wound. And we're coming back to the space of the child safe within the womb. We are the womb. Our environment in our home is the nest of co-creativity, the nest of creation. And no one else can, tend to the nest like we can. And so there's great rewards coming in because we are addressing the core wound, abandonment. And in truth, many of us abandon ourselves and our gifts and our wishes and our dreams a long time ago. And not necessarily consciously, we just did so because we were busy, um, you know, surviving or whatever we were doing, navigating life from an unhealed space, navigating life from the point of the wound. Is this making sense? If it is, hit the thumbs up. If you're not watching it live, if you're catching it on the replay, hit that thumbs up. So yesterday, while I was at the lake, I took the throat chakra singing bowl. It was very specific, as well as a large piece of carnelian, a massive gold sheen obsidian heart, as well as a smaller blue quartz heart, and an Archangel Michael incense, my book, and a couple of decks of cards. The the Prophet Oracle, Khalil, Gibran, as well as the Starstream Oracle. And so the cards that came out were beautiful. And I pulled first from the Prophet Oracle. And this came out, rejoice through all seasons, eating and drinking. This 9 is the completion. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Meditation, fasting. There's a big call for this cleansing, detoxing energy to come in because we're feeling it in our physical vessel. So as we stabilize through our pillar, our energetic cord, if you will, as we stabilize, again, it's almost like this elevation that's happening as more and more guidance and support is coming in, and it's coming in lickety split, fast, fast, fast. And we're going to feel the effects faster and faster and faster of things that aren't good for us, whether it's people, places, things, what we watch, what we do in our spare time, all of it. We're going to feel it faster. And the point of this entire journey is to experience and feel more and more joy. And joy isn't about the material things that we have. Those can support, of course. For me, joy is a new big box of incense. Seriously, it's the little things. The second prophet card to come out was open your heart unto the body of life. And this is a number 39, which is a 12, which is the reminder that we are the vessel of life, light and life. And in this life, we are born over and over again. I love that this card came out because although it's not the image on the deck, it is the image on the book, The Prophet. And that is a self, what do they call them? A self diagram, self sketch that Khalil did of himself. And this message, there's a reason why the energy was so off last night, is that there was a need to integrate and there was more to come in. So with this, open your heart unto the body of life, the death card. Today, I had the dogs at the dog park. And again, the weather here has been very ominous. The energy's been very ominous today, really dense cloud, a lot of wind, and the temperature dropped significantly. Yesterday, I think a part of what was happening is I was feeling energetically sick. And we have been sprayed heavily all week and for all the time, but in particular, there was a lot of activity going on this week and last week, in fact. And yesterday, although we haven't had many warm days or hot days, yesterday turned out to be a really hot day, and it wasn't expected to be that hot. And honestly, I cannot stress enough that the sun feels like a microwave these days, or whatever they've been spraying into this atmosphere is having this and this effect of like a microwave effect. I can't show you, it's not here. I've taken to my I have new headgear for the summer season. I'll show you. I'll bring it out at another time. Um, so yeah, the combination of, you know, the Scorpio full moon and all the other planetary stuff that we have going on, and then the chemical attack, or, you know, I wouldn't say chemical attack, that, yeah, the heavy metal attack, the chemical attack that's taking place on this against us has an impact on us. So we're powerful, though. We're incredibly powerful through our connection to Source, to God, that is always present within us in the moment. And so when we got off the live last night, and I literally thought I was going to vomit, and I didn't know what was going on. I was kind of panicked a little bit. And then it was clear as bells, God, to call on God, to call on Source, the one who loves me unconditionally and always has, who's responsible for my being here. You know, on the bit grander scheme of things, I know my parents are responsible for me being here. I get it. The fact that I'm still here and alive, I'm thankful for my parents for bringing me to life. And, you know, the fact that I'm still here alive is because of God, Creator, who loves me and you, all of us, unconditionally. And so that was the call to Source last night, and really working with Source and Archangel Michael to, Archangel Michael to truly cut all the energetic attachments toward me that aren't for, you know, like filling and supporting the rise, the, you know, the return of the light, the creative abundance and prosperity, and to really, that energetic field around me, focusing on that and getting clear within that. So I take the dogs over to the dog park this morning, and the sky was ominous, like a bunch of people left, which was nice when we got there. And the dogs were doing their thing. And I see what I thought initially was a hawk in the distance with a little bird chasing this what I thought was a hawk. They were too far away for proper identification. So of course they did fly right over me, and it was a vulture, and a young vulture, probably just a fledgling out of the nest. And this little guy was just like flapping like crazy, could not catch the thermal to elevate, to get up there closer to the adult bird, I'll say mom. So this guy's flapping, and mom was like close by, but, you know, at a distance. And then over to the other side of me was another vulture with another young fledgling. And this young guy was really, he was really up there. He was catching those thermals and having a grand old time. And this little guy over here, he's just like flapping. I've never seen a vulture flap so much. Just flapping. It was so cute, because then I was like just standing there in awe, watching this lesson unfold. So the little guy that was doing great and dad, they come, you know, floating in, drifting in. And the little guy goes over to the other little guy. Like, it seemed like he was very excited. And it was almost like he was saying to the little guy who was flapping, still flapping like crazy, but like just felt like really terrified. Um, it was like these guys came in and said, "Come on, let's go. This is how you do it." And his sibling came over and he was like this, and then a wind came, and then the little one that had been flapping started following his brother, we'll say, following his brother, and all of a sudden he got up higher than he had ever been before. And so it just feels like this is where we're at. Perhaps it's time to stop the flap and, just be calm and anchor your energy. This feels very Yeshua, Christ, divine masculine. And then this, the silky, shapeshift, transform, experience a new reality, divine feminine. And together, we've got a 24, which comes to a 6, and the 4, which is a 10. The Wheel of Fortune has spun in our favor. And, it was amazing that the silky came out as I'm at the lake. And it was really nice down there yesterday, actually. And I was sitting much like this image here on the card, and you can see the seal coming in, or maybe it's an otter, playful energy. And we're the ones that are doing all the work. And, there may be those around us who don't want us to soar to new heights. And yet there will be the helpers that come in that support the ease of our flight, that support our ability to, with ease, be calm and anchor our energy through the soles of our feet, through the root chakra, through the back of our body. There is a need. There does feel like a 2, 2, 2, 2. There is a need for some back of the body work. And so stay tuned for an update on that soon. Trust your intuition. And the truth, the truth of the core wound perhaps may not be an easy pill to swallow, right? Because the core wound, if our core wound in this lifetime, all of us collectively, is abandonment, and abandonment from what, let's say, our parents or friends and loved ones who transition and all of this, at some point in time, it must be true that we abandoned ourselves too. And so this is like the homecoming, the addressing of the core wound, and the realization that, it's our very own self that continues to perpetuate the wounding through our actions, through our, pushing through. We don't have to push through energy. We have to be present for the energy that's present. And I guess not push through, breathe through and support the breakthrough within our human HUE experience through the vessel, the body of light. So let's see what year. With these cards, I always go back to years. So let's see what years these cards, these images were created. Okay, 1, 2, 3. What is that? Oh, there it is. I didn't go back far enough. 1995. We are now in 2025. So 30 years ago. 30 years ago. Perhaps 30 years ago, you began your transformative journey, shape-shifting through all of your experience, through all of, the dimensions of time, the, time periods, the cycles. Perhaps your journey since 1995, if you were alive at that time, I sure was. And I would say it's pretty accurate in my life that this is how long I have been on this journey, 3 decades of time, closer and closer, ever closer to your last year of high school. I was 25, closer and closer to the manifestation of the reason I am here in this lifetime. And so, what's gone on in your life since 1995? Here's the message that comes through. Attune with another species to gain an expanded perspective of yourself and your senses. This has been done by shamans. Yeah. And Kuan Yin, when Kuan Yin, we'll go back to Kuan Yin because there was a time, and I don't play too much with that energy. There was a time, though, that I felt as if that was a part of the presence I was here to carry, the essence of Kuan Yin, and shape shift into that energy. And perhaps I have through the personal experience, through the personal journey of healing, to become the mother, the wise crone, the one who knows and trusts what she knows, she or he knows. And let's see the year for this card. So this is the Divine Feminine. Okay, I just have to look at pictures because I can't see. There it is. 1994. So 31 years. So this leads me to believe what I'm feeling here is that there was a call put out to the collective, like a clarion call. And perhaps all of us here at this time heard the call in one way, shape, or form around this timeline. And perhaps it was the divine masculine first who heard the call, and then the feminine began the healing, the stepping in, the moving in. My right ear is going crazy. The moving in to the timeline of healing, the timeline beyond the generic. These two energies are very complementary. The one who sits and speaks truth, and the one who is intuitively guided to show up and stand up with confidence in the essence that beats as their heart, the masculine and the feminine. And it says here, silent counsel may be appropriate at this time. Slow down and gather your energies. Ground yourself by projecting your spirit. And more than projecting our spirits, it does feel like we have to protect in some ways. And those of you who know me know I say there's nothing really that can cause us harm because we are divinely protected and guided and walk in the light of Creator, of God. We are the children of earth, of light, who came for this time. And so we are protected. And we are also very sensitive, empathetic, compassionate, and sometimes through our interaction and connections with others, and particularly those who may have been in our life for an extended period of time. And this could be family and friends, acquaintances, not necessarily people that are in our realm all the time, but pop up. And I will say there has been a bit of this energy around me recently, and it certainly has shown itself to not be of high integrity, and not, yeah, just not. I'm just being guided to. Oh, that's funny. That is really funny. Okay. So, as we move and shift through this energetic time, transforming once again and actually into an expression of self, into a version of self that we would not have contemplated back in the 90s, nor even a year ago. And that's saying something. We're also working tonight with this deck I was guided to bring out. I've ever used it. It's like brand new, and I've had it for years and years. And this is the first card out, the hummingbird, the honeysuckle, joy. We are here for the joy of life. Where's our joy card? We had a joy card here. Oh, I must have put it away. It'll be in one of your in one of the readings coming up this week. It's with the angels on Monday. But this is honeysuckle, getting the sweetness out of life. And I love that this card came up because just the other day on Thursday, I was picking a gentleman up for work, and in front of his house is a beautiful lilac bush. I mean, beautiful. And it's chock full of lilacs on every branch. It's just exploding everywhere. And I commented on it. And I shared with him, I said, do you remember when you were young and lilacs and we like pick the little flowers off and suck on them, and they were so sweet, and the honeysuckle, and here's honeysuckle. And this is exactly indeed what we are here to experience. And we do so in these two cards. It's really interesting because these two cards showed up in some messages that were recorded earlier today. They showed up together like this, for the inner child. They will be released at a later date, but we've got the crocus and the iris. And the crocus is really representing after the winter, new life comes through the purity of heart. And we're even growing through the winter season. We may not recognize it, but very soon we're going to begin to see, substantially, I just heard, um, the manifestation of our dreams. And it's like, there's no more rewind because the tape has rewound and come off the reel. So that tape is done. We're starting a new reel. And this new reel is one in which, life gets real. We're in the fields, joyfully co-creating with the divine, supporting our own shine. And we're even growing in the winter season. And it's really the purity of our heart that we came to this lifetime to bring. And, it is a solitary walk. And that doesn't mean that we can't walk or don't want to walk with others. Dahlia, flower of life, grounded, wisdom, compassion, the spiritual, it's the Empress energy again, the Emperor energy for the masculine, really holding space, holding ground, and will not, those who tamper in our energetic fields, those who tamper in, the energetic field of the real deal is what I heard. It doesn't pay to do so. And the greatest reward that one will receive from trying to interfere is their own awakening, is their own healing. This is powerful. You're powerful. We're also powerful. And it's quiet here tonight. What's going on? Is everyone camping? Where is everybody? I know you're still here with me, Mo, and I'm grateful. It's like a one-on-one. I love it. So let's look at what the guidebook says. Just surface the just surface about these cards. So where was the, oh, there it is, honeysuckle. Like, where was that first card? Honeysuckle. Honeysuckle. Good luck. Good luck. Activating intuition, awakening sexuality, releasing sexual blocks. That's interesting. Did it? Is the video acting weird? Is the video acting weird? Am I all like pixelated? Because I could go turn off a TV. Not that anyone's watching the TV, the dogs are. Activating intuition, awakening sexuality. All right, just give me a second. I'm going to go and turn something off. Hopefully this gets better. I don't want to be looking like all weird, all pixelated. I don't like that. Maybe I'll move back out to the front. So, sexuality, releasing sexual blocks, good luck, letting go, endings, beginnings, prosperity, and weight loss. So this is confirmation. No, you're not late. You're right on time, Kiva. You are right on time, sister. Welcome. Happy Saturday. Oh, jazz hands. Much better tonight than I was yesterday. So, and there was a lot to, I feel we don't give ourselves, and maybe I'm just speaking for myself, and I will just speak for myself. Sometimes I don't give myself enough credit for what I actually do from the perspective of energetics. And it's a lot. It's a lot. And it requires attention to the physical vessel and what our inner child really wants is the mother within us to show up and just slather that child up with attention. And yeah, so anyways, I don't know. This I find very interesting, the honeysuckle's property, because this is about our joy, right? And, good luck and awakening and sexuality and clearing and healing sexual blocks. And there is some of this energy about ladies, and we're just not going to delve too much into it. I'm so glad it's clear. I'm so glad. I would have unplugged earlier had I known. I here it looks clear. And there's a couple videos I've seen where I'm all like, it's weird when you're all pixelated. I don't really like that look. I don't like that look. For the women out there, and this could be true for the men as well. Well, it is true for the men. We store our emotions in the sacral chakra, the space between the hips. And it does feel for those of us who don't have a partner, there is a need for us to figure out ways in order to keep that energy flowing, to keep that energy moving so it doesn't stagnate. Because when it stagnates, our ability to flow as creative within the co-creative energies is challenging. And today, one of the messages that was coming through, what I was shown was our feet as a channel, like we're the channel, right? Our feet planted on the ground. And through the left foot, the left foot felt very grounded. where the toes weren't quite connected to the earth. There's a resistance on the right side to release and let go. And yet we want to keep giving and giving and giving to every Tom, Dick, and Harry, when that's not supportive of us as the channel. So what I was shown today was this conduit, this energy movement receiving through our left foot, traveling up our left leg across the sacral chakra, across from the left hip to the right hip, and then down the right leg and out through the right foot. And it was this energetic that we were clearing. And there was a lot of resistance on the right side to release and let go. And so the question is, that's what I was feeling. So if you resonate with this, and if you're watching this on the replay and you resonate, hit that thumbs up and drop a comment down below. If you resonate with this, what is it that you resist? This? We're so silly. And yes, so we are called to action to care for ourselves through the sacral region. Okay? Is that clear? Okay. So next out, we had the crocus and then the iris. So the crocus, the message of the crocus is that we still grow in what is perceived dark or dead, the dead of winter, right? Nothing grows in winter. Sure does. We do. And the crocus is the first sign of that in spring, right? Those beautiful flowers of many colors poking up through the snow or through the earth, and then it snows again, and the crocus still stands there, proud of its growth. Crocus, cool down, calm down, get grounded. This just feels very relaxing. This actually feels like, a walk on a warm winter's night with the full moon, fresh fallen snow. And this is late winter. Okay, this is late winter. So maybe early spring. And there's like just a coating of snow, but it's not going to stay long. It's a call. Like, I feel like I want to go and hang out in that gazebo in a sleeping bag, in a onesie, and just like have a sleep, have a sleep. If there was a little fire in the middle that I could tend to, that would be great too. So it feels like calming down. And this is interesting because, those of you who were here yesterday, I felt like I was in the midst of something. And what I've come to understand, it was a bit of a spiritual interference, which they usually, there's a lot of energies. I'm not really it's cleared now. It's been banished. And it says that here, banishing nightmares, cooling violent emotions. And the messages from the angels, as well as, I think it was the angels actually mostly, this came in. That message will be released on the next Monday, which is the 19th of May, in the Monday playlist. Check it out. 4444. The angels really are encouraging you to go check those messages out on Monday when they come live, because there's something there for you. banishing nightmares, cooling violent emotions, happiness and wealth. And we've already had the wealth card out here. And we have the happiness card too, honeysuckle. Hey, Lane, welcome, sister. How's it going? So nice to have you here. Yay. Yeah, like, why are we resisting the wealth and the joy of simply being ourselves, of showing up for ourselves, of caring for ourselves in the here and now? Because you ladies, the ones that are here with me on the live, and any of you watching this at another time, and men, if you're here for seriously spiritual purpose and you're watching, you are also a leader, a healer, a wise one, here to teach and guide others. And that is why you have come across this channel. And that's not like tooting my own horn or anything like that. Although the Roadrunner says, say beep beep, because we have to acknowledge who we are. And the purpose is the purpose and calling of our heart. And we have done the hard work. And where we are now is the final release. And the Scorpio full moon was a big component of that. It also started back in Scorpio season, if you remember, with the Scorpio new moon right before the holy days of 2024. The Scorpio full moon or new moon back in November was a catalyst for some great emotional changes. And in that time, we have experienced a tremendous amount of growth. We have experienced a tremendous amount of healing through this idea of rejection, of abandonment, of isolation, of, almost like a hands up. Instead of hands up, baby, hands up, it's kind of like hands up, what's it all being for? Well, we're about to find out, because we're totally in this. And this space that we create for ourselves through discipline, through daily devotional practices, through self-care, through communion with our angels and God and source, and then through acts and by acts of self-love, showing up for ourselves, of course, is giving birth to great rewards. Like, seriously, beyond what we have imagined heaven on earth to be. It is to be our experience. Everything's all lining up because we are filling our own cup. And we are focused on the union and reunion of the masculine and feminine within that show up for the child of light and delight that we came. And where there's anger and rage, there's pain that has yet to be addressed and healed. And that's our work to do, right? That's our work to do. And as we do that work, we can step into this pathway, this abundant, prosperous pathway of living our dreams. Simplicity. Living in flow of the seasons, honoring the rhythms and cycles. And this is a whole new, I don't think we're quite through it yet. We'll see. No, we're not quite through it yet. They just had me feel that tension through the shoulder blades. We're not through it yet. We're getting there, though, because we're getting to, like, we've been come face to face in the last week or two with the core wound. And so as we address it, we level up. the floodgates of abundance open up. The joy, the inspiration of the joyful child that lives within opens up, and all of a sudden creativity is overflowing through us like a cup. We're the cup of creative flow. I am the cup of creative flow. And abundance comes home. So let's see what the message here is for Iris. Iris, fine tune. Here, I'm going to have a sip. What will I have? My dandelion tea. Of course, I have to spill it. Well, I threw the divine feminine in a singing bowl. There's a reason for that. We'll get to that shortly. Let me just clean this mess up. But you know what? No panic. No panic. What are you going to do? It's already happened, right? The water's already spilt. The tea's already been spilt. Now we got to just clean it up. How's it going, Canada? How's it going? I don't know. That just came out. Okay, that's not bad. We're all cleaned up. We're back on track. So fine tune. Alignment with inner truth, creativity, energetic balance and calibration, intuition and divine messages, love drawing, purification and protection. Confirmation of absolutely everything that has come through this connection this evening at 9:33. Thank you so much for showing up. Are you seeing all the signs and synchronicities in your experience? Numbers, birds, songs. What are the synchronicities? Drop them in the comments down below. Let me know. If you're watching, let me know what you're seeing. And the protection, I love that that's come out again, because there was a bit of, we have to remember who we are. And this is the time of releasing and letting go of those energies that don't honor who and what they are. So how could they ever honor who and what we are? And letting go. Where's that other card? Oh, there it is. Letting go is, let's shift that. Letting go is easy. Letting go of what does not support my soul is easy to do. Letting go of what does not support my soul is easy to do. I release and let go with love. Oh, this card's still wet. This card is the one that got the most wet. I can't wait to, yeah, it is getting easier. Next up, the release between the shoulder blades. We'll figure that out. And perhaps it's a feeling of, that's interesting. As I say that now, it's almost a feeling of like, who's showing up for us? Are you feeling that? Do you feel like you have the support in your life? Do you feel like you have support in your life? Because the truth is, when we're walking with our own heart and we show up for ourselves, it feels like here, this community, all of you who show up time and time again, and those of you who are new, who will likely pop in again for a visit, there's a reason. There's a reason we all join together, to support one another, to remember who we are and why we're here. Yeah. And, that's a part of, I feel the feminine's in this part. So let's see where the feminine card, let's see what singing bowl that flew into when I was cleaning up. The masculine landed beside the solar plexus chakra singing bowl, and the feminine landed in the third eye chakra, or the crown chakra. This is that. Yeah, the crown chakra. So the feminine card, the silky, this one that came out earlier, well, it came out at the lake yesterday. And it's wet like it's at the lake. Didn't get wet at the lake. It got wet here with the tea. Shapeshift and transform, experience a new reality. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. And it's through our crown chakra. Right. Well, it's through our whole body. This feels like it's the expansion of the pillar of light that is you. So just take a few deep breaths. Let's see where this takes us before I get back to the messages, the message of Dahlia. And if you see that flower behind her, and then you see in the bottom of the singing bowl, very, very similar. So nice deep breaths, everyone. I'm glad. Okay. Everyone, just take a deep breath. So, there's a message here for the feminine to settle into the energy of reciprocity, like to settle into the energy of reception, receiving what is accessible and available to you each and every moment of every day, even when we're feeling gloomy. And because we are literally under the weather. And I believe that yesterday, did I share it with you last night, the writing? And it's like we are the sky and everything else is the weather. And so we are the entirety of the experience. And it's up to us through the reunion and unification within, to be the one who shifts the energy, to be the one who shifts into the timeline of joy, resets things 10001, resetting through alchemy, through faith, through the journey of the sacred fool, who has begun again more times than most people have traveled around the sun, right? Yeah. So it's like we're ready. We're ready. And if you feel like you're alone, say you want a relationship, a partnership, and you feel alone, focus on showing up for yourself in your own home and trusting that, the divine counterpart is preparing for arrival. It's like, don't spend too much time in the what ifs or the don't haves or anything. Focus on why you're here to shine and what it is that you're here to do. Follow the path of joy, like the hummingbird going from flower to flower, or like the young child that you were at one point in time, sucking on um, the tips of the honeysuckle or the lilac or whatever it was, extracting the sweetness of life in the moment, not knowing what comes next. And from way back then, as children, we never knew what came next, what was coming next. We were just in it. We were in the moment. We were in the moment. And those of us here for great purpose walk a very solitary path. And a part of our healing is the unification and the reestablishment of connection with Source, with God, and our angels. And then in those moments, when we are alone, or, and if we live alone, we're on our own a lot. In those moments, there's like, we are on purpose. We are not prey, we are purpose, spiritual purpose. And so finding those things that bring us joy, engaging in those things that bring us joy. And it can be as easy as doing the laundry. I was so happy when I went to the laundry room this morning and I got, 4 washing machines. I got to do my laundry, bang, bang. It was done by 10:30 or 11 a.m. It was a good start to the day. And then for the rest of the day, it's also been great. Busy doing things I love, recording videos for this channel to be released at later dates, some writing, walking the dogs, observing nature, observing the vultures, learning to fly. And with the amount of vultures that have been around these days, it's like the message is let go so you can fly. Stop flapping your wings like that little bird. If you didn't hear that story, go back to earlier in this live. The little vulture flapping their wings and really, doing a lot of work and not getting very far, while his sibling over there with dad, there was a story about that sibling over there with dad, was soaring to great heights and finally came in and got his little sister or little brother and said, hey, come on, here's an easy way. This is how you do it. And that little bird that had been flapping its wings for so long because it was scared to let go and settle into that thermal, right? To lift up with the thermal underneath them. And, it was I just felt like I watched a graduation. Honestly, it was a beautiful encounter. And I was like, you know what? That's so perfect because, we're all being asked to let go of something. None of us is above the other. We're just, on different stages of our eternal evolutionary process. And we all got lucky. We all got lucky to be here on Earth at this time together. to connect with one another. Thank you so much for showing up here. Like, honestly, your presence here is a gift. And a gift for which I'm eternally grateful. And at some point in time down the line in the etheric realms, I'll thank you again and dance and play in your energy again. And what a delight. And so, again, in order for us to let go and flow, in order for us to soar to new heights, we have to be a responsible circuit. Left foot up through the left leg, through the hip, across to the right, and down and out, and ground ourselves and clear that, clear our channel, and heal our channel. Yeah. So, we didn't even look at Dahlia yet, did we? No, we didn't. It's Delilah. I'm hearing that song. It's Dahlia, the flower, right? Dahlia. I'm hearing Romeo and Juliet, Samson and Delilah. Mm-hmm. I won't keep singing it, but maybe you're singing along too. Fire. The fire in the belly. The breath in the belly. The fire in the belly, guided by the heart into action. Solar power, solar activation, grounded, rooted, powerful, divine, feminine, supported by the stable masculine. Trusting intuition, trusting the process of the death and rebirth over and over again. This is a new one, though. This is a new one. This is a big one. Oh my goodness. Attend to the shadow. OMG. Yes, ladies and gents. Yes. The recesses. The recent Scorpio full moon, or the most recent full moon, whenever you're watching this, because again, remember, whenever you come to this, there's something here for you. And if you're still this far in the message, there's definitely something here for you. The Scorpio full moon and everything that we've had going on since, again, at the time of this live, it's May 17th. We've been in it for a long time, for years. And really since the holy days of 2024, around the solstice, it's actually, I can't even pinpoint it because it's been ongoing, right? And there's some people like Elaine and Dawn who have been here for a decade or more hanging out. We've been playing in this energy together for a while, supporting one another. And then Kiva joined us, and we're growing and we're growing and we're growing. And so it's really important, especially if you're one of the ones who has been here for a decade or a dozen years or more. This is it. Come on, this is it. It's like, give up the fight, support your own flight and divine birthright. And it's about consistency and dedication and the willingness to face the shadow, right? And we are at this time where it is the core wound that is healing in all children of light, in all children of God, because through healing, fertility gives birth to abundant creative expression. And we're not all here to look the same. We're all here to support one another, doing our own thing for the betterment of the collective. And it begins with us. And if all we do in each and every day is suck the sweetness out of life instead of allowing people to suck the sweetness out of us, or to plug into us because they think we're sweet, and or they're viewing us as prey or something. No, no, no. 1 10 10. No, no, no. Not today. Not today. No. So let's see what Dahlia has to say. Dahlia, attend to the shadow. Dreams, mystique, occult wisdom. So occult wisdom doesn't mean nefarious. It's simply to occult is to hide something, what is hidden. And so what is hidden, all this wisdom, and those who work in nefarious ways with the occult energy, that which is hidden, we are the ones here to restore righteousness to that which is hidden. And as women, we do this through the lunar cycle that takes place in our physical body every month from a very young age in maidenhood. 5 ones across the board. Make a wish. It's time we lived our bliss. And so the way that we uncover this occult wisdom is to get down to the core wound and to see it and feel it for what it is and let it go. Remember, no more rewinding. The tape is run off the reel. We're starting a new reel. The wheel has turned. We have made the shift from the wheel of karma. The wheel of destined, fated events. Actually, we've lived all of the fated, and we haven't lived them all. We've lived all of the events in our life have been fated, and we are now moving really into an abundant co-creative experience of being divine. We are a human that had our shine dimmed and dulled, and we were responsible for part of that at some point along the way. And somewhere along the way, we reestablish connection with what is great and good about us through our connection to Source. And we took that journey, that courageous journey of the sacred fool who takes the leap of faith, who goes for dreams. I'm telling you, if you have a dream and you're about 30 years younger than me, go for it. Because I'm still here bringing it to life. I can say it's still here. Your dream, that which is true and authentic to you and what you're here to do, doesn't go away. That's why I'm sitting here with you tonight, Saturday night at 9:55. That's why I'm sitting here with you, because our dreams don't go away. And the soul call, the soul calling, the spiritual purpose for our existence here and now is wanting to manifest through each and every one of us. And it's for the greatest and highest good of humanity. It doesn't come in anger and rage. We do that work. We address that stuff. We address the shadow. We process our anger and rage. We feel our emotions, so it goes away. Saturday Night Soul Sisters. Hey, that should be the new call of it. Saturday Night Soul Sisters. Hey, sister, soul sister. Again, this sacral chakral energy is like big time. And this is where we are meant to flow and create. So dancing and moving, again, through our feet and through our feet, and move those feet, and our hips moving and clearing through the shoulders. We've got a lot of stuff that we're processing through. And so it just feels very exciting. Are you feeling excited? Anyways, let's see. Dreams, mystique, occult wisdom. Oh, that's what got me sidetracked. Sweetness of shadows. Yes. Transmutation of emotions, yes. And where is all of that stored? In the sacral chakra. So our willingness to address the shadow is the healing potion that we gift to the ocean of love that is ourself, born for this time, born for flight, via the pathway of healing and trusting our heart's desire, the inner fire, the inner calling that doesn't go away. You can't drink it away. You can't smoke it away. You can't have sex. You can't sex it away. You can't numb it away. You can't busy it away. The calling of the soul is ever present. And it feels like, I don't know, I'm feeling like for some, like there is an energy on the planet of despair. And so for some who may be tuning into this, you may not be hearing or feeling the call. I'm just, you know what I'm actually feeling? In where I live, there's a lot of homelessness, and we're seeing this epidemic worldwide, right? And so, how can one not see this and be called to address this, and there's really easy ways that we can do this. And I think for us, one of the greatest gifts that we bring to the daily experience is our authentic self, a willingness to engage with our fellow humans who are also like us, worthy and deserving of all good stuff. And there should be no human um, in North America, the first world, or anywhere for that matter. We could address these problems. The you know the elites, the parasitics, they could address these problems if they really cared to. They don't care to, and so that's where it comes back to you and I. And we really shouldn't have people living in tents. And there's a guy down in my new spot, like there's a tent, and I think I met the guy. I didn't ask him if that was his tent. um and nice energy, nice energy, and yet deep sadness, right? He was reeking of alcohol, and it was early in the morning, and I guess he just walked out from his camp. He was probably, it's hard to tell these days, anywhere from my age up to maybe my parents' age, somewhere in there. I'm not really sure. Older than me, probably older than me, somewhere 10 years to 20 years older than me. And we sat on the bench and chatted, and he pet the dog, and it was a nice interaction. And, that's really what it's all about. That's really what it's all about. Supporting someone else to be seen and felt and heard. And we do that by allowing ourselves to see and feel and hear ourselves, and the voice of the child within, and the calling, and the child that really wants to break free. Honestly, the child's tired of living with um, the density. The child's tired of living with the density. The child is free now. Let the child free. And that doesn't mean that there's not going to be more stuff for us to process. We're alchemists, we're healers, we're spiritual leaders and teachers and guides, energy workers. We have great responsibility here on the earth at this time, and it all begins with ourselves. It all begins with the insides. And as we continue to flow in those moments where we're feeling like last night, perhaps I shouldn't have gone live. I did. And I felt like I honored myself by like just cutting it short, saying what I was guided to say, let you know, and then go and take care of myself. And that act of doing that, I felt so much better today. So much better immediately. And there was a huge energetic shift. And there was a lot of energy work that took place last night. And we, as the conduit, as the pillar of light, as the channel that is clearing our circuit, have to show up for ourselves. And the more that we do, the more rest we get. We don't need to be creating and doing things all the time. How's the connection? Is it still good? Because it's kind of wonky on this side now. Am I all pixelated? Oh my gosh, if I am, we're done. Okay. Yeah, so we have to give ourselves grace and space to process. And if you need permission, this is your permission. The way we move, the Empress, look, the Empress doesn't run around anywhere. She's done the work, right? And so the Empress is simply in flow of creative self-expression that supports her planet, his planetary mission. Well, it's the Empress supporting hers, and the Emperor supports the Empress, and the Empress supports the Emperor. Right now, though, there's a lot of emperors and empresses going it alone. And that's okay. That's okay. There's going to be a homecoming. We're feeling this transition. We're moving to this. In the meantime and in between time, we show up for ourselves and we honor the space, the call for rest. And then when the creative flow comes in, we flow. Today's been a highly creative and productive day. Not every day is highly productive. And yet there's always the opportunity for us to simply, at perhaps some days we're here, facing the wound. And like I said, we're all at different stages of our eternal soul's evolutionary process. And so perhaps some of the viewers, some of those gathered here are still in that very much the space of healing. And that's okay. That's in fact great. Go easy. Show yourself compassion. Get creative. What did you love doing when you were little? How did you like to create? Did you like to play outside bare feet, feeling the earth beneath your feet? That's the number one thing all of us can do to really support ourselves from becoming unglued. And much of the collective is unglued, unhinged, And as we see this, it's more and more important that we take responsibility for what we reflect into the world, into, the great cosmic stream of abundant co-creativity, of magnetizing into our experience that which is an energetic fit, because we have worked with Archangel Michael and God and Mother Earth to clear all those parasitic connections. And we're human and we're under the weather and we're, all of this kind of stuff. And so it's an ongoing process. And yet we're growing and we're beginning to see the material stability and rewards flowing in. Yeah, transmutation of emotions. So, is this all making sense, resonating? Where should we go next? I just feel like there's a couple more. Oh, right there. Okay. So this is the, I don't know what it is. I'm not sure what Oracle deck it is. I will visions of, I think the guidebook for this deck is in my bag. Shoot. Yeah. I don't have the guidebook here. I will. Visions of something. Anyways, it really wanted to come forth. Look. Abundance. I am grateful for the abundance nature and universe provide in my life. Abundance. And there's a hummingbird, and there's the butterflies of transformation, and there we are at peace, in harmony. We're not forcing anything. We're just simply at ease. This is a 36, which comes to a 9, which is completion. We're wrapping things up this year. 2025 is a transformative year, and it's the space between what was and what is to be. Abundant co-creativity, prosperity, standing in and stepping into your role and position of power in your lifetime, this lifetime. By simply just, being the magical, mystical, wise woman, shaman, child of light, human that you are. Let's just go with that, because all that other stuff gets all those titles and everything. We are what we are. Just present to the world as you are. No titles needed. Brothers and sisters at heart, spirit guides. Number 25, our physical vessel. 25, 7, the number of our body. We are the channel of light. We are what we are. No certificates necessary. If you've done your healing work, if you've done the inner work, I have absolutely more respect for one who has done the work than one who has gone to school to support others to do the work. Do the work. Lead by example. Simplicity. Let's get real, humans. We have gone way far offside, whichever side, right? And it's time to come back into balance through us as the channel, with the experience of our spirit guides guiding us every second of the day, every minute of the day. Our physical body needs our attention and needs our support every single day. And, I'll be honest, I struggled with that one sometimes, especially when my son's away and stuff. And, I've recently, I'd say the past couple of years, I've really become so untrusting, let's say that, of the food supply, the food industry. So I'm happy farmers market season is here now. The body. I open my heart to my guides and trust in the wisdom they share with me. I open my heart to my guides and trust the wisdom they share with me. Again, look at this. Holding space. The images on this card, like holding space. And the space in between is where the growth, like the crocus in the winter, right? The crocus popping up above the snow. The growth is always, as long as you continue to show up for you and do the work, the growth is there. It's taking place. Okay. And then we're going to wrap this up. We've got 4 more of these affirmation cards, and then we're going to wrap this up. So far, this is amazing, though. Abundance, right? To be the first card, and then the spirit guides. Confirmation of much of what's been shared here amongst us here tonight. And yeah, and then we get this, the spark of the divine. That's what's been shared, the spark of the divine, beyond the mind. And what have we got here? We've got another 9. So completion, more confirmation of the completion. And it's the spark of the divine as we transform, as we move through this transformative process, once again, addressing the deepest wound. Remember, we're in this completion year, 2025, universal 9, wrapping up a cycle. There will be many people. And if you resonate with this, great. If you don't, just let it go and know it's only shared in love and from, my own understanding of the energetics. 9 is a completion. There'll be many that say 10 is a completion. I strongly disagree with that and feel that 9 is the completion and 10 is the new beginning. The new beginning that is fueled, the new beginning that is a very fortunate one, the Wheel of Fortune energy, fueled by the energetic of the Fool that traveled through that journey up to being the embodiment of the Hermit. And they begin again as the Fool who is transforming, alchemizing, becoming the magic in their own life by the pathway of healing. And that circuit, remember, left foot up through the hip, down through the right. That circuit, that must be a responsible, energetic space in your human experience. Think of it like a battery. And that battery has been overused, misused, depleted of energy, used to, harvest and suck and deplete energy from humans for a very long time. And this, I'm so happy today to receive this visual, because that's exactly where we are at this time. The emotional waters, moving beyond, embracing, moving into the fire in the belly, the spark of the divine, unconditional love, born to shine, earth angels, elementals, magical women and children, mystical men, powerful, standing in the understanding that they are a spark of creation. Here for really, it's supposed to be, life is supposed to be more like a vacation than, digging ditches. We're here to scratch the spiritual itch that's been like nagging within the collective for a very long time. And the further we get away from that, the further, a soul veers from home. What am I going to say? They're showing me like a slingshot, like the tougher the spring back. And yet, it's also a leveling up. For many of you who are here, this is a leveling up. We're freeing ourselves. The slingshot, we're not rewinding the tape again because the tape snapped. It spun off the wheel. There's no more tape. We're threading a new, abundant, creative, harmonious experience for ourselves, and as a result, for those who are drawn into our field of creative space, creative energetic exchange. It says, I reignite the divine spark within me and recognize I am a part of all creation. I reignite the divine spark within me and recognize I am a part of all creation. What's that flower? Calla lily? That's what I'm seeing this as down here. Calla lily. That peace lily. Peace lily. I lost the peace lily. Oh. It's funny. Those of you who know me know I usually repeat affirmations 3 times. And I've been doing it twice tonight. And I don't know if I did it twice for the other two, but I certainly did it only twice for the Spark of Divine. And then we've got the number 2 card, meditation. There's a reason for this, because we are coming home to through the deepest wound. Thank you, Scorpio full moon. Thank you, Scorpio new moon last fall. We have come home to the deepest wound. We may have seen it last fall. This the full moon in Scorpio, it's now bubbled up. It's come to the surface. And it's like the last gasp. And it's this space in which we free ourselves. It's in this space in which we are supported by the angels, by God, by Source, by our loved ones in spirit to heal via the pathway of our breath and rest. I meditate daily to allow universal wisdom to flow through me. I meditate daily to allow universal wisdom to flow through me. So for some of us who may have moved away from our daily formal meditative practice, it does feel in some way this is a call to formal, because I would say I meditate every day. Do I actually sit and formally just focus simply on breathing? No. Although I do do it at night. There is a time. I would say no, though. I would say that this is a call for a formal practice daily, and perhaps at the same time, seeding a new energetic that supports the expansion. And this energetic is restful. Like, we don't have to be pushing. We simply have to be honoring and showing up for ourselves, so that, because all the other pieces are in place and hopefully doing their thing as well. So the last 2 cards came out upside down, so I haven't seen them. So I'm excited for this reveal with all of you. Saturday night sisters, soulful sisters, Saturday night soul sisters. I like it. Okay, let's see what these cards are. It's like, should we do a drum roll? Maybe we should do the bear rattle. Maybe I'm going to do the bear rattle. It just feels like, for many of you, this feels like the divine counterpart holding space and wanting to come into the space with us, just to let us know we are not alone. And to support our hearts to settle. Because when we say there's an energetic exchange that is not aligned, that is not authentic, integral, and aligned with our energetic. Because we are compassionate people and we engage, whether it's like with this guy on the path, he didn't do anything negative to my energetic at all. Others, though, there are others about who unintentionally throw shade, let's say, our way. And then if we are not in that space, we can inadvertently take that on. And so it feels like there's a call through this meditation. It's like a call to that big golden egg of light. We sit within that and we go into the world from this space, and nothing can interfere with the essence of source that we bring here. So yeah, I just feel Frank has been around so much these days. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. And I'm so grateful to be alive today. Honestly, I have to say that, because there was a time back in 2021 that, I know for sure an angel saved my life, probably a legion of them. For sure. There's a reason I'm still here, and I am so grateful for that. So I just felt guided to say that. Now we're going to look at these two cards. Aw, aw, oh my gosh. Another 9, triple 9s. If this is like somebody call 911. There is no emergency. The only urgency is that we let go of what does not feed our soul, and it's hard. It's hard as a human, right? Especially when you're compassion, especially if there's any sort of, um, it can be hard if there's any sort of intimate connection, like if we have engaged sexually with someone, and it's just not a good connection. It's so important that we wrap up this cycle of perpetuating pain and holding others back, or others trying to hold us back, because that's not here. It's our sacroiliac through which we release. Who sang that song? It's the sacroiliac. Was that Maestro Fresh West? Letting your backbone slide, the sacroiliac. This is a key, and we are here for joyful co-creation. We are here for abundance, fertility, healing, and the whole pathway is this: your frigging beautiful heart. Our beautiful hearts. This is it. This is all of it. 17 comes to an 8, our eternal soul. The essence of our eternal soul. Where am I going here? Someone tell me 17 in the major arcana. It's like, what is it? Tower? No. Anyways, I shouldn't even pretend I know the tarot. I just intuitively read everything. Thank you, Mo. I'm grateful too. And 999, it just really is confirmation of all of this. Is 17 the star? Yeah. Oh, look, you said it. I said it. Yes, it's the star. The star is about our heart. The star, the hermit carries the star in his lantern, right? The hermit carries the star in his lantern. The hermit is the wise one who seeks counsel from the high ones, from God, source, creation, nature, plant medicine. This is so powerful. You're also powerful. Thank you for showing up here on this channel. Seriously, because you're here for great works. Your beautiful beating heart and everything you have been through has brought you to this point. And if nothing else, you ought to be celebrating yourself, because you are hearing the call of your eternal soul, and you have done so much healing and clearing. It's up to you if you want to go full on home, full on abundance, floodgates of abundance, as a healer, as an energy worker, as a ancient wisdom, modern mystic, one who brings forth ancient wisdom into this time by doing your own healing work. Like, I literally, everything I do in my own personal experience is intuitively guided through source with God and Archangel Raphael and Archangel Michael. Those are the A team for me. And then, of course, we've got Frank and the contingent of the loved ones in spirit and all of that. Ultimately, whatever you believe, whatever you feel, you are supported and incredibly powerful. And there's a reason you're here. Archangel Raphael, you're here to heal. And this opens the floodgate of abundance. And this reignites the spark of the divine, the co-creative force that's always lived inside. I invite Archangel Raphael to bring healing and knowledge into my life. Well, the knowledge comes from the healing. The knowledge is already in you. Archangel Raphael is not going to bring it to you. You are the wise one. You call on Archangel Raphael, and when he's there, Archangel Raphael will be like a leader, a teacher, a guide, a mentor to you. You're here to grow your relationship. It feels like you're here to grow your relationship with Archangel Michael and Raphael so that you can stand strong. Of course, Burton Cummings pops in, and I hear stand tall. Stand strong. You've done a lot. Like, I mean, we got 999s here. That's completion. That's the wrap. That's the film rolling off the reel. There's nothing left. It's a new reel. It's a new reel. The wheel has turned. The wheel has turned. Honored and humbled. I'm honored and humbled you're here. And, like, keep going. It hasn't been easy. And, this whole year, remember, we're in the universal 9 years. So don't think that this is going to, clear up overnight. It may. As masters, though, we're just going to play in it day to day. We're going to meditate. We're going to show up for ourselves, and we're going to play in the energy to co-create a totally different story. We're tired of rehashing, and, like, personally, I'm tired of, like, revisiting stories from 50 years ago. Like, honestly, joyful ones, yes. The ones that the trap, right? We're caught in a trap. That kind of energy, we're done with it. It's done. It's done. Because this is where we are. I love myself and others unconditionally and nurture loving relationships. And again, all that I share is about our personal relationship with self. I very rarely talk about the external, although there is an energy this year of reunion, counterparts coming together to move to the next creative space. Yeah, me too. So everything is about the personal. So I don't do, like, predictions or anything like that. If relationship energy comes in, I speak about it. I know. I speak about it. And that does feel as well, because we cannot love others unconditionally. We cannot give to others what we cannot give to ourselves. And so if we can't show up for the man or the woman in the mirror, that's another great song. The Man in the Mirror, one of my faves. If we can't show up for that person, that divine human that stares back at us from the mirror, many of us don't even really look at ourselves. We literally have one mirror in this space. So when was the last time you really looked at yourself? So if we can't show up for that person, how the heck are we going to show up for anyone else? And so remember, as this card comes out, it feels important to remind us all that love is an action, not an emotion. We can feel joy, and we can feel, happiness and sorrow, and love is an action. Love is the action we take. And I say this because a lot of times people say, "Oh, I love you," and then their actions are hurtful. And so, love doesn't hurt us. Humans do, and we do, through acts of self-neglect, really, not loving ourselves unconditionally. God loves us unconditionally. Source loves us unconditionally. The earth gives to us unconditionally. Our pets love us unconditionally. Most other connections have some condition. And that's not to say that it's done with intention or harm. That's only because most haven't addressed the wounds that live within their experience. I love myself and others unconditionally and nurture loving relationships. It begins with me. It begins with us. We've had these two beautiful crystal companions with us all night, which is perfect. The calcite and rose quartz, green calcite, rose quartz. And yeah, you know what, gang? That feels like it's a wrap. Cut. Cut the cords. The tape has flown off the reel. We're not going back there. This is a new stage of um, the reel of our life. And it feels really quite delightful, I have to say. Visions of, what is this called? Visions of something. Anyways, it'll be in the description box. Yeah. Yeah, you're so welcome. Yeah, there's that piece of prose too, the man or the gal in the glass. When you get what you want for your, has anyone heard this? I don't even know if I'm going to get it right. It's an AA thing. Well, AA adopted it. It's not really an AA thing, but AA adopted it. So I'm going to do my best to get it right here. And if I don't, you can just go look it up. The man in the glass or the gal in the glass. When you get what you want in your struggle for self, and the world makes you queen for the day, just go to the mirror and look at yourself and see what that queen has to say. It says, or see what that man has to say. For it isn't your brother, your mother, your something whose judgment upon you must pass. Oh my gosh. I have to get it because I don't want to. I'm butchering it. Just a sec here. Man in the glass. And you guys can still see me, right? Man in the glass. Oh, and in the glass. I put man in the glass. There we go. Okay. So here it is. Apparently it was written, I don't know, Dale Wimbrough in 1934. And let's see if they can just give it to me. Let me see it. Okay, here it is. When you get what you want in your struggle for self and the world makes you king for a day, just go to the mirror and look at yourself and see what that man has to say. For it isn't your father or mother or wife whose judgment upon you must pass. The fellow whose verdict counts most in your life is the one staring back from the glass. He's the fellow, no, you may, I've never heard this part of it, but it says you may be like Jack Horner and chisel a plum and think you're a wonderful guy. But the man in the glass says you're only a bum if you can't look him straight in the eye. He's the fellow or gal to please, never mind all the rest, for he's with you clear up to the end. And you've passed your most dangerous, difficult test if the gal in the glass is your friend. You may fool the whole world down the pathway of years and get pats on the back as you pass, or pats on the ass as you pass, but your final reward will be heartache and tears if you've cheated the gal or the man in the glass. So, with that being said, Tristan's come in. He was my constant companion today for the recording of messages. Yeah, this is my bear rattle. I actually bought it for myself for for my 50th birthday. The original plan for my 50th birthday was Frank was going to take me to Utah to Zion National Park. We were going to go for a bike ride through there and visit some sacred sites. And I was going to traipse around barefoot. But so instead of that, because Frank wasn't here for that, I bought myself this beautiful native made, handmade bear rattle. I have quite a few. My girlfriend has also, I don't know if she watches these, she may, and see this, but you see my back, sorry. But I was also gifted some other rattles that she's made with gourds. She didn't make the bear rattle, but she made these rattles. These two. This one was a little broken. Yeah, going forward, it feels like I'm being called to do more like energy movement sessions with you, like just moving energy. That's really one of my strengths. I just need some more time with the mother, getting out and exploring, and I'll just trust it as it comes. Working with sound and supporting those who are called to work with me to move energy as well, because those who are called to work with me are 100% incredibly powerful and gifted energy workers and healers, spiritual teachers, and guides in this lifetime. So thank you so much for gracing me with your presence. I'm going to say so long. Hey, Tristan, he's an old guy. He's been, those of you who have been here for 12 years, you would have seen Chris. He hasn't grown much. He's not a big cat by any stretch of the imagination, but he is a sweet, sweet, sweet old guy. And he's loving the attention, obviously. He's about 15 now. And he did spend a lot of time. He was an outdoor cat. I know people don't like that. And this guy has been through, he's a miracle too. And we're grateful he's here. I'm grateful you're all here. Kiva, Dawn, Elaine, thank you so much for showing up and engaging on this live. And if you are catching this on the replay, thank you so much for showing up. And I trust that something here has been supportive to you. I'm going to go and he does have a lion face. He is so wise, and he's really missing my son. So my son is back working out of town, and he'll probably be gone for the next few weeks anyways. And so this is Tristan. He's my cat, yet he's Jacob's cat. And so he's gone from sleeping in Jacob's room to sitting here in my chair in the space here because he's missing Jacob. Well, not because he's missing Jacob. He just wants some of my attention too. But yeah, he's missing Jacob. We all are. But we're all doing good. And I thank you all for being here. And yeah, thanks again. If you've made it this far, hit that thumbs up, drop a comment down below. Anything you need to know about me, if you'd like to reach out and connect with me, is in the description box below. Everyone, I am probably not going to go live tomorrow. There may be a short, some nature short that's posted, but there will be an angel message posted on Monday. It was recorded today and they were lovely. I've also pre-recorded Whimsical Wednesday. I find it distracting. I have to just say to those of you who are here, I find it a little bit distracting to do like Whimsical Wednesday and the angel messages, unless I'm called to live. So those, I'm really being encouraged to pre-record those as I get the intuitive hits to do it. So I did that today. And then there was another message that was recorded today. I'm not sure when they want that to go out. I will be back here live Tuesday morning around 11:44. We'll see how it goes with the routine. But with that being said, I hope you all enjoy the rest of your Saturday evening. It's 10:40 p.m. here now, and I am going to go and begin to do the wind down. So with that being said, I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. And, just settle into a space and know that everything is more than okay. And with that, visions of the soul. That's what this oracle is called. Visions of the Soul Oracle. So, with that being said, hold the vision of your soul and remember your physical body is the most sacred home. I see you, I feel you, I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.